Today's lesson is on finding theoretical probabilities. When all outcomes of an action are equally likely, you can use theoretical probability formula to find the probability of an event. The probability of an event equals the number of favorable outcomes over the number of possible outcomes. For example, our action is to spin the spinner twice, and the event is to spin the same color twice. With our sample space, we can see we have the option of spinning red, blue, or green the first time, and then red, blue, or green the second time. Each section of the tree has one favorable outcome for selecting or spinning the same color twice. So that is 3 favorable outcomes out of 9 possible outcomes, which simplifies to 1/3. Look at example 1. The table shows the possible outcomes of choosing one card from the group shown, replacing it, and then choosing a second card. Find each probability. For letter A, the probability of at least one apple. So we can look at our sample space and we can circle the ones that have at least one apple. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 36 that have at least one apple. We can simplify 9 out of 36 to get that 1/4 have at least one apple. For letter B, we are looking at the ones that have exactly one apple. So looking at our sample space, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 36 that have exactly one apple. We can simplify this fraction to 2/9. For letter C, find the probability of exactly one apple and one fish. So we're looking for one apple and one fish. As you can see, the probability is 2 out of 36, which simplifies to 1/18. Letter D, the probability of at least one apple or fish. So here we're looking for anything that has apple or fish in it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 out of 36 that have at least one apple, and that simplifies to 4/9. Example 2. The tree diagram shows the possible outcomes of choosing one card from the group shown, setting it aside, and then choosing a second card. What is the probability of at least one fish or one apple? So here we're looking at our tree diagram to determine the number of possible outcomes. Again, we're trying to figure out at least one fish or one apple. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 possible outcomes selecting fish or apple. There are 2 possible outcomes here. There are 4 possible outcomes here. 2 possible outcomes here, and 2 possible outcomes here. So if we count, we see we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 possible outcomes out of 20 total outcomes. We can simplify our probability, 14 over 20, by dividing by 2, and that simplifies to 7/10. So the probability of selecting at least one fish or apple is 7/10. For example 3, it is your turn to pick a geography fair partner and country at random. Use an organized list, a table, or a tree diagram to find the probability of choosing your best friend Miguel in your favorite country, Greece. Here I'm going to show you how to find the probability of the events by multiplying the probability of each single event together. So if we're looking at the names of students, we see Miguel's name is listed once in our set. So that means that the probability of selecting Miguel is 1 out of 5. Greece is listed once for our set of countries, so the probability of selecting Greece is 1 out of 3. Just like with counting outcomes, we can find the probability of these theoretical events by multiplying their probabilities together. 1/5 times 1/3 is 1/15. So the probability of you selecting your best friend Miguel in your favorite country of Greece is 1/15. Look at example 4 in your notes. A class ran 330 trials of this two-step action. The action was to toss a coin once and spin the spinner once. Complete the table for which compound event is the count closest to the expected count. The first thing that we're going to do is write the probability for our experiment. So as you can see, the trials were 330. Out of that, tossing heads and spinning red occurred 45 out of 330. Then we have 59 out of 330, 64 out of 330, 45 out of 330, 58 out of 330, and 59 out of 330. We can simplify these probabilities. We've simplified the probabilities of our experiment, and then I've done the expected count, which is basically where you're just turning your fraction into a decimal so you can compare. The theoretical probability of tossing heads on a coin is 1/2 times the theoretical probability of spinning red, which is 1/3. That gives us 1/6. So the theoretical probability for all of these would be 1 out of 6. 1/6 as a decimal would give us 1600ths with a 6 repeating. All of these in our expected count are very similar to the theoretical probability. So for which compound event is the count closest to the expected probability, we could say that it's the closest to this probability here of rolling tails or tossing tails and spinning blue. Look at example number 5. Our action, choose one marble at random from a bag that contains one red, one green, and one blue marble. Then toss a coin. For which compound event is the result closest to the results predicted by the theoretical probability? To find our theoretical probability, we're choosing one marble out of a bag that contains 3 marbles, times the probability of tossing a coin is 1 out of 2. So that probability is 1/6. If we look at our probabilities here, we would have 11 over 60, 8 over 60, 14 over 60, 6 over 60, 13 over 60, and 8 over 60. Now we can simplify to determine which is closest to the theoretical probability. If I were to change 11/60ths into a decimal, that would give me around 1800ths, which is pretty close to the theoretical probability. So the event of choosing a red marble and tossing heads is closest to our theoretical probability.